Ever feel like you're watching a sci-fi horror movie, but it's happening right in our own lakes and rivers? We've got villains on the loose, not from outer space, but from other parts of our own world. These aren't your typical movie monsters, but they're just as destructive. Today, we're diving deep into the murky waters to uncover the 5 worst invasive freshwater species that are causing chaos across North America. These critters are engineering experts, relentless predators, and eating machines. They're changing our ecosystems forever, and you won't believe the damage they can do. So grab your life vests, because things are about to get wild. Let us kick things off with our first pair of troublemakers, the zebra mussel and the quagga mussel. Think of them as the terrible twins of the aquatic world. Originally from the Caspian and Black Seas in Eurasia, these tiny mollusks hitched a ride to North America in the ballast water of cargo ships back in the 1980s. And boy, did they make themselves at home. What makes them so terrible? Well, for starters, they breed like crazy. A single female can release up to 1 million eggs per year. Once they hatch, they form dense, razor-sharp colonies on almost any hard surface they can find. We're talking rocks, boat hulls, docks, and even other native mussels, smothering them to death. But their real calling card is their impact on infrastructure. They absolutely love to clog pipes. Water intake pipes for power plants, water treatment facilities, and industrial sites get completely choked with these mussels, costing billions of dollars in maintenance and repairs every single year. Imagine trying to get a drink of water, but your pipes are just a solid mass of shells. That's the reality in many places. And it's not just our pipes they're messing with. Zebra and quagga mussels are filter feeders, and they are incredibly efficient at it. They suck in massive amounts of water, filtering out all the plankton. Plankton is the foundation of the aquatic food web. When the mussels remove it, there's less food available for the small fish, which means less food for the bigger fish, and so on up the chain. They essentially starve out the native ecosystem. Plus, by filtering the water, they make it crystal clear. That might sound nice, but it allows sunlight to penetrate deeper, leading to massive algae blooms on the lake bed, which can create toxic conditions when they decompose. These tiny terrors are a huge problem with a massive price tag. Moving on to our next villain, number 3 on our list is the alewife. This small, silvery fish is native to the Atlantic Ocean but has made its way into the Great Lakes, and the story of its invasion is a classic tale of unintended consequences. Initially, it was thought they could be a good food source for game fish like salmon and trout. The problem is, alewives are not exactly a 5-star meal. They are high in an enzyme called deaminase, which breaks down thiamine, or vitamin B1. So, when predator fish like lake trout and Atlantic salmon eat a diet consisting mainly of alewives, they develop a severe thiamine deficiency. This leads to a condition called early mortality syndrome in their offspring. The baby fish can't develop properly and die shortly after hatching. It's a devastating blow to the populations of these prized native fish, and fisheries managers have been fighting this battle for decades. But wait, there's more! Alewives are also prone to massive die-offs. In the 1960s, the shores of the Great Lakes were famously buried under mountains of dead, rotting alewives. The smell was unbearable, and the cleanup was a monumental task. While we don't see die-offs on that scale anymore thanks to the introduction of predator fish to control them, which, ironically, led to the thiamine issue, the alewife remains a deeply problematic invader, forever altering the food web dynamics of the Great Lakes. Now, for our number for invasive species, we have something straight out of a nightmare. Meet the sea lamprey. This creature is a parasitic, jawless fish that looks like an eel with a horrifying, suction-cup mouth filled with concentric circles of sharp, horn-like teeth. It's a true aquatic vampire. Native to the Atlantic Ocean, the sea lamprey invaded the Great Lakes through shipping canals, and it has been a plague upon the fishery ever since. Here's how it works. The lamprey latches onto a large host fish like a lake trout, salmon, or walleye. It uses its sharp teeth and rasping tongue to drill a hole through the fish's scales and skin, and then it feeds on its blood and body fluids. The host fish is often left with a large, open wound, making it susceptible to infections. Many fish die from the attack itself, and those that survive are scarred for life. It is estimated that a single sea lamprey can kill up to 40 pounds of fish in its lifetime. Think about the impact of that multiplied by millions of lampreys. In the mid-20th century, the sea lamprey invasion caused the complete collapse of the lake trout fishery in several of the Great Lakes. It was an ecological and economic disaster. Today, a massive, ongoing effort by U.S. and Canadian agencies uses special barriers and targeted pesticides called lampricides in rivers to control their populations. It's a constant, expensive war against this blood-sucking monster. And if we ever let our guard down, the sea lamprey would come roaring back. They are, without a doubt, one of the most destructive invaders our freshwaters have ever seen. And finally, rounding out our list at number 5 is the grass carp. Now, this one might surprise you because grass carp were actually introduced intentionally in the 1960s. The idea seemed brilliant at the time. Use these fish as a biological control for nuisance aquatic weeds in ponds and canals. They are voracious herbivores, capable of eating up to their own body weight in plants every single day. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a few things. First, they escaped. Floods and accidental releases allowed them to get into major river systems like the Mississippi River and from there into the Great Lakes Basin. Second, they don't just eat the bad weeds. They eat everything. Grass carp are indiscriminate eaters, and when they move into an area, they can strip it completely bare of all aquatic vegetation. This vegetation is critical habitat for native fish to spawn, for young fish to hide from predators, and for countless insects and other invertebrates that form the base of the food web. When the plants are gone, the entire ecosystem collapses. Furthermore, the carp that were supposed to be sterile, a version called triploid carp, weren't always 100% sterile. Fertile, diploid carp also got out, and now there are breeding populations established in several major river systems. These fish grow to be enormous, sometimes over 4 feet long and weighing nearly 100 pounds. They are powerful, destructive, and are fundamentally re-engineering the underwater landscape wherever they go. The perfect solution turned out to be a perfect disaster. So there you have it, the zebra and quagga mussels, the alewife, the sea lamprey, and the grass carp. 5 species that have caused immeasurable damage to our freshwater ecosystems. From clogging our cities' water pipes to acting as aquatic vampires, these invaders highlight just how fragile our natural world is. The fight against them is ongoing and costs us billions of dollars, but it's a fight we can't afford to lose. The best defense is prevention, cleaning, draining, and drying your boat and gear every time you leave a body of water is crucial to stop the spread of these and other invaders. What do you think? Are there any other invasive species you think should have made the list? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you found this deep dive into these aquatic villains interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.